Hello and welcome to Greenville, North Carolina for Gatekeeper and HyzerMedia's combined coverage of the Down East Players Cup presented by Basket Bashers. Thank you to Cosmic Disc Golf, D-Town Disc Golf, and Reaper Disc Supply for making this coverage possible. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth by Dan Brooks-Wells. Dan, who do we have on our card today?
What is going on, guys? Welcome back. We got world champ Paige Shue from Charlotte, North Carolina. We have Holly Finley from Bell Buckle, Tennessee. We got Irina Shakhova from Ontario, Canada. And last but not least, we have Megan Goldsby from Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Should be fun to watch. Jumping into hole 10 on the back nine. If you haven't catched the front nine, go over to Gatekeeper Media's channel and check it out and come on back here. As we jump into hole 10, it's a par 5 at 809. The basket this is the old position where this drone is flying. The basket's actually about 100 feet right of it, but most players are just looking to bite off a good amount of distance off the tee. It's open on the right-hand side of the fairway if you can get over there, but eventually you need to make your way into the woods towards this basket. Tough tree there that Megan catches, but still bite off a good amount of distance off the tee.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. That's one of those trees you're not even really thinking about when you're throwing.
Nice shot here from Irina. She decides to go to the left side of that B tree. I think that's probably the more traditional play.
Seems like you'd cut off a lot of distance going on that left side.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what most players are looking to do. Paige leaks out a little left here. I think you'd like to keep the disc on the right-hand side of the fairway if possible. Kind of opens up the second shot into the woods a little more, but this is also the danger of that with a strong crosswind. Holly's disc just gets flipped over instantly, kind of burns over into the ground. So a lot more distance on the second shot, but throws it really well.
If you guys didn't watch the front nine and you haven't noticed, it is extremely windy out today. Really fun for us to watch, but definitely not fun to play in.
Yeah, definitely.
Challenging.
Yes, challenging, exciting, makes putting very interesting. Nice shot from Megan there to bite off a little more distance. This was pretty much an ideal drive from Irina.
Seems like she snaps that one off and the wind just takes it and crumbles it over. But looks like she got a decent cut roll back to where she was originally aiming.
Yeah, she'll probably have around 300 into the pin there since she is at the tree line, basically. Paige, this is kind of the tough part about the left side is the gaps get a little smaller, a little tougher to make forward progress.
You hear find a way. Yeah, just get through. Should have a up and down look from there.
Yeah, this is a long hole, so just making sure you hit your initial gap is really the key in not taking a big number, especially in this wind. Really is still a bonus birdie.
Get by that. Misfire from Irina. Oh, it just doesn't hang on enough. She wanted that to turn over just a little bit more. Holly usually throwing flippier discs, kind of trying to play the wind a little bit differently.
Yes, going a little right side, kind of sneaks its way through though. Parked it. Nice shot there from Irina. Good recovery. I have a couple tough scramble shots here coming up.
Okay. Megan with the buttery forehand.
Putting in work on those approaches. Pretty much everything inside of 200 we've seen her super consistent in getting up and down. I think Paige might have clipped something there late.
It seemed a little yanked out of the hand. And Holly content with laying up and dropping it in from there.
Nice putt from Megan. Those 15 footers are really where you, well, definitely flex worthy. Because, yeah, like I said, those 15 footers are where you keep yourself in this round, right? None of them are, with this win, none of them are gimmies. So if you can As Paige just that one leaks a little left. If you
Yeah.
can keep yourself just in the mix, a lot of pars is gonna be just fine on a day like this.
Yeah, let other people make the mistake, right? Get your pars, move on, let other people take those risks. Um, you see Holly here just tapping in her par, and if I'm not mistaken, the rest are here as well.
Yep, should be a par from Irina. I think Paige is going to have to settle for a bogey.
Oh, my mistake.
All good. And our last under par competitor drops to even. We'll see if anybody can bounce back. Under par here on hole 11 is a par 3 at 316 feet. I think most players are probably trying to throw some sort of turnover backhand that moves from left to right. There is also kind of a sneaky hyzer gap on the right-hand side of this fairway, but this is the more traditional line. Just a little overturn there, though, from Megan catches an early tree.
Yeah, it seems like a really tight, specific gap to hit, and then the basket, having a couple trees inside the circle, you're trying to land it inside 20, really.
Yeah, tricky hole, tough wind as well, kind of a head left to right wind, which can help turn your disc over. But if you don't hit your line correctly, you're probably going to catch one of those trees. See if Paige can be the first to pure this one, and that looks really good.
Keep going. Oh,
She's like
nice.
parked. That was really nice.
She doesn't know anything about that bogey from the last hole. A little bounce back.
Nice upshot there from Megan. Give herself a chance to save the par. Some tricky ones coming up. Irina doesn't quite turn that one over enough. Holly actually kind of snuck through to an outside look.
Just giving it a run.
Not a bad effort.
Fine with the par. Nothing wrong with that. Unfortunately, Irina's going to have to settle for the bogey.
Hmm. Leaked that one a little right there.
Good comebacker.
Shout out to that Carbella Designs hoodie there that Megan's rocking. They make some great bags. Go check them out. Nice birdie there from Paige Shue. Good bounce back. Gets her back under par. She's like, Nathan, what are you doing saying nobody's under par anymore? I'm right here. I'm right here. One under.
The disrespect.
I know. Hole 12, 347. We've got a little sand bunker green here. This first sand bunker plays as, I believe, out of bounds, maybe hazard. I don't remember. You'll get a penalty stroke if you land in it. The second sand bunker is just the green, so there is no penalty strokes being handed out there. You can throw a forehand, you can throw a backhand. Paige is going to opt for this kind of sneaky backdoor backhand line. And it looks like she threw it pretty well. Should have a putt.
Seems like this Hyzer route's the preferred line. What's the wind doing here?
Kind of a tailwind.
Okay.
Because we're going back down the opposite direction that we were traveling in at the end of the front nine. So yeah, players can kind of just throw something nice and flat, let the disc finish at the end, and maybe get yourself a look if you've got the distance to carry the 347.
Yeah, really, really interesting green. I don't think I've ever seen uh, a green with this kind of a sand trap. Unless it's at USDGC, of course, but like using one sand trap as OB, using another sand trap as the green. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I've only seen it a couple places, North Cove being one of them, but yeah, not a very common occurrence. Nice upshot from Megan, nice upshot from Holly as well. I loved Irina throwing that turnover line. Looks like she threw it really well. I think she's going to have a birdie look here. Tricky win, though.
Looks like a little right to left tail.
Oh,
No.
just a bit left. Doesn't quite connect. Love the effort, though, from Circle's Edge,
Yeah.
giving it a chance.
Yeah, I like her decision off the tee. A little risk reward scenario right there. Obviously, when you throw to the right, you don't really bring that OB bunker into play,
Mm-hmm.
but the left side gap does. So good for her for giving it the go.
Yeah. A couple inches away from it paying off, but still able to card the par. As we head into hole 13, par 4 at 675. You can kind of just do whatever you want off the tee. Just as any gap that will find yourself into the fairway, and then make your way up into this green. I think most players are probably just going to throw the hyzer out and around and just try to give themselves a look, still throwing with a tailwind here on this one as well.
A lot of ground action. See the wind kind of pushing this forward. In this tailwind, you might see some of these players throwing a disc that's a little bit flippier in their bag, but the wind is just going to hold it and kind of push it forward.
Yeah, something kind of like what Holly just did right there. Nice shot. Gets a little bit of hyzer flip up to get that forward push, but always knew that disc was going to come out at the end. Nice shot here from Megan as well. Oh, just kind of an unfortunate roll, though. Might be some tricky footing.
Yeah. Now I don't see any wind.
Yeah, like I said, it was very, very blustery, kind of came and went as the day went on.
Yeah.
The wind could be different in the fairway than what it is on the tee pad, so hard to really trust your discs. So, but you still got to commit to the shots nonetheless. Megan there, kind of an awkward tree in front of her, has to go with the turnover line. Didn't quite turn it as much as I think she would have liked, but still in position to grab a par.
I like the angle of that. Oh, I was just going to say, get lower.
Yeah.
That was a cool little drop.
A very well-timed drop there. Give her a nice tailwind putt from circle 2. Ooh, an early drop from Paige.
Skip.
Oh my gosh, like 100 feet of ground play, if not more.
You gotta love it.
That was an awesome shot. Let's see Holly here trying to go hyzer flip. Doesn't quite get enough flip out of it. That tailwind just never let that disc flip up all the way, but still might have an outside look at the birdie.
See if she can get this close enough to give herself a look at it. Wow, and the wind just pushes it a little bit as it's rolling. That's going to make that a really hard putt to make.
Wind is whipping here, but it is a tailwind. Nope, just laying it up. Smart move.
It's too early. It's round 2. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, again, especially the birdie putts, a lot easier to lay up than the par putts. Knowing that you're not losing any strokes really to most of the field. But you will lose a stroke to Paige as she connects on the birdie from circle 2. One of the few circle 2 putts I'm sure we will see all day. That one, it really didn't want to go in, but did find the bottom of the basket eventually.
The will of Paige Shue made that go in. Yeah, and that's just her using the advantage. She had that tailwind putt, and she decided to give it a bid, It was the right time to take that risk in her mind.
Tough 3-putt there from Megan. Like we said, harder to lay up the par putts. She decides to give it a run, but unfortunately left with a tough headwind 25-footer as the comebacker. So going to have a big number coming up. Well played hole from Holly and Irina. Really just making sure, yeah.
Sometimes that's the best way to do it,
Yeah.
You're that close, just slam it in that bottom.
As long as it hits low enough, it's not going anywhere.
Right. A good par from Irina.
Yep. Hole 13. Only one birdie on the day, and we saw it here. As we head into hole 14, is a par 3 at 361. We're going to see the basket in the right position. It is actually in the left position for this event, which is about, I would say, 100 feet on the left side of the fairway. So you're going to see most players throw a straight to finish shot. This actually is probably more than 361 as well. Probably playing closer to 400 feet. So it's going to be a rip to get yourself a look. This is a great shot from Paige. I think she'll find herself somewhere in circle 2, but tough hole, especially in this headwind.
Yeah. Good disc selection from Paige. Holly wants it to fight, and it does. Awesome.
Yeah, nice disc selection there as well. Just keeping it straight the whole way. There's that same overstable disc we saw Irina used to card the birdie on the front nine on the long par five. Doesn't quite commit to it. No out of bounds on this hole, so you know it's pretty open over there on the left, but she'll still have quite a ways into the basket. Well, this is.
She gets this one turned into a headwind, and it's just taking it. She threw an overstable disc, but she put the nose down into that headwind, and then the stability just had it ride all the way out to the right.
Yeah, this is tricky over here. A lot of stuff in the way. Friendly little kiss off the tree there. We have an outside look. This is a little more open.
It works past that.
I think it did.
Yeah, kind of skipped up. Yeah. Outside chance here. And she's got a right to left wind that she's working with. Probably a hyzer on this outside. Let it swing. Yep.
Use that wind to her advantage. Soft little ground play. Yeah, this is a great drive from Paige. Like I was saying, this hole plays close to 400 feet in this left position. So, yeah, that was a rip in a headwind.
Yeah, and you see everyone else. Oh, just a little pull out of Irina. You see everyone else having to throw their upshots in, and she has the advantage of being able to just jump putt it to tap her par in. And Irina catching left side chains just not enough to hang on.
Yeah, we're starting to see, you know, the consequences of running some of those circles edge par putts, which it's so easy to do, but at the same time, with a strong spin putt like a lot of these girls are opting for, it can get you into some trouble if you don't catch any metal.
Yeah, and you can see Paige and Holly are starting to pull away a little bit. They've played in the wind a lot. They understand to get these pars is important. Paige and Holly, number 34 and 35 on the Pro Tour this year, so they've been around.
For sure, as we jump into hole 15, it's a par 4 at 617 feet. Most players probably want to play to the left-hand side of the big bushy tree that you see in the middle there, because that opens up the approach a little more. But you could play it kind of either way. Yeah, here's the left side we're talking about. This will probably leave Paige somewhere around the 350 range into the green through a pretty tight tunnel. So this is a demanding hole, a demanding two-shot par 4. Just looking to bite off a good amount of distance off the tee.
Holly with a nice hyzer flip, rides all the way out. It looks like she'll be fine from there.
Yeah, I think she just got in front of that tree that can cause some trouble. This needs to fade as well. Yeah, it does. Nice shot there from Megan. Irina.
Just not enough hyzer on that one. Every time she steps up, I feel like she's going to be throwing that red rim disc.
Yeah.
That little extra stability.
Yeah, especially with a strong headwind. Oh, and there's the headwind just wreaking havoc. Yeah.
Later. Yeah. Sometimes all you do is just laugh. You just see what the wind does with your disc and you just laugh at it.
Yeah, man.
That's how you get by it.
Tell me about it. This round was brutal out there. So kind of tricky shot here from Holly. She is under that tree that we mentioned. It just doesn't.
Okay, I didn't realize how tucked underneath she was.
It doesn't quite turn it. This is a pretty good drive from Paige. You can see the tunnel she's going to be aiming for. Still quite a ways out, but that's a really great shot.
Yeah, she might have a little jump putt in from there.
It's a nice shot from.
Say it again.
Yep, smooth forehand from Megan. Been a common theme She's going
Yeah.
to have an outside look at the par. Irina, she's working the other side of the fairway, trying to take this backdoor gap, but unfortunately, I think just barely catches one of those trees on her way in.
Holly here. What an upshot. What a scramble. Should be able to drop in that par.
All 15 wreaking a little havoc here on our leaders.
Hmm. Dink.
This is a birdie look. Oh, off the cage. Just running the 40-footer.
No fear.
Love to see it. Do not love to see that double bogey there from Irina. Gonna drop her back, but just it happens quick out here in the wind. If you don't know what exactly your discs are gonna do, and I mean, who does, right? When it's this
Yeah.
windy, it's tough.
It is, and you know what? That's a learning experience for
Mm-hmm.
her. You know those shots where she's throwing just a little bit flippy of her disc. You just error on the side of overstable,
Mm-hmm.
so you know what your disc is most likely going to do. So you know she'll adjust and she'll be fine.
She will. As we jump on to hole 16, it's a par 3 at 265. You will either see players throw the turnover through the gap that Jerome is flying, or you can see the low skipper over the road, which is out of bounds though. And in this headwind, you want to make sure if you're going to go for that outside play, you throw a disc that you can trust, because if it flips, it's not coming back. This is the safe play. Never quite gets it to turn, but it's all inbounds over there, so it should be fine.
Very safe. Oh, I like this if it can stable out. Oh yeah.
Oh, she's parked. That was so good from Holly.
Done. Yeah.
Perfect stability. Just that little bit of turn. Oh, and this looks great as well.
Looking very similar.
Wow. These women are making this hole look easy.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I'll opt for that left side.
Hmm.
So nobody's going out of bounds on this one. This one's Irina shot leaking a little left, but pretty much pin high.
Man, the wind just dropped that right out of her hand. Just pushed it down.
Yeah, tough crosswind to work with. I just never got the lift.
You can see she's putting in that headwind, yeah, and you really want to run that hard, and it's like, I don't want it to go way past.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a bad play to literally aim for the cage, and you know, if it lifts, great, and if not, you're likely staying close.
You're just like, let one go my way, please.
Yeah. All right, this will be a par save from Irina. Tricky little 25-footer. Nicely done.
Very nice. Nice recovery after those last couple. Steps up and makes a nice solid putt.
Yeah, love to see that. Oh, there's the lift she didn't get on the previous putt. You just saw it right out of the hand. The wind just take that one.
Yeah. Unfortunate bogey from the drive that she had, but like you said, that's what can happen. And what a birdie! What a birdie from Holly. Little tap in.
Yeah, killer birdie, only birdie in the entire field on the day on this hole. That was great to watch.
That might be a contender for shot of the round.
I have to agree. As we head into hole 17, is a par 4 at 531. Looking to land your drive somewhere around here so you can play across these two out of bounds areas into this green. Definitely don't want to come up short. If possible, on your second shot, looking to go past the basket and then have your comeback back towards the out of bounds. This is a nice shot from Holly.
Yeah. Very nice. Looks like she's pushing the edge of that OB. I love holes like this where it's two golf shots, you know. You can try and crush it, but you better land it in an area that's safe. And then for your upshot, just a little touchy, and especially in this wind, of course. But you know, having to avoid that OB with a good golf shot.
Yeah, most of the field just taking this big hyzer. We do have a tailwind on this hole, kind of a tail crosswind, I guess. Oh, is that too far? Oh, it looks like it's
I
stayed
guess
in
not.
bounds. Yeah, it's really the only miss off the tee here is just pushing it too straight. You could find that out of bounds, but anything that fades off to the left is going to be just fine. Something like that will do the job.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. It seems like the more left you go here, the closer to the basket you can get, or the farther you can push that drive. And probably the smart play there with all the wind and how much distance she had left.
Looks like Holly's going to get aggressive here, going for the green. Probably looking around 300 feet in, maybe a little less, but
What a
yeah, super well executed.
beautiful.
It's hard to stick this one close because, again, like I said, you don't want to come up short because of that out of bounds area. So,
Yeah, it looks like I mean the tailwind's just gonna drop your disc, so you don't want to, like you said, like coming up short is a lot easier than you would think with the tailwind dropping you.
yeah, and after a great drive, Irina's probably got 250-ish into the green. And yeah, plays it nice and safe. We'll have a comebacker for birdie from there.
A nice easy headwind.
Yeah, exactly. Great upshot from Megan, not to be glossed over. Yep, smart layup.
Paige with the birdie look, and she doesn't want anything to do with it. How close is that OB behind the
It's
basket?
not that close. It's, I would say, probably 25 feet, 20 to 25.
Okay.
So she would be unlikely to find it on the putt, but with a headwind putt in general, if she does get the lift, could
Yeah.
bring just a tough comebacker in general. So, but Holly, great birdie, back-to-back birdies on a day like this is
Mm.
wild. So,
And also, she was the only one to birdie those two holes, 16 and 17. So awesome job, Holly.
yeah, putting her back in this thing. Only one stroke behind Paige with one hole to play. And this hole is a doozy. Hole 18, par 5, 858. Over the water on your third shot, looking to stick this green. I don't think it's technically an island. You could probably go out and around if you wanted to. But most
Does
players
anybody?
are eventually going to have to throw over the water into the green. So yeah, it's a big number waiting to happen if you don't play this well. And yes, there's also OB left off the tee, so you can't just play it safe out into that field. You really have to throw a good tee shot, kind of like what Holly did right there.
Ooh, nice. Look at that nose up skipping. That was awesome.
Yeah, tons of ground play out here in the short pine needly grass. It is a tailwind for this tee shot, which is the nice thing. You can kind of go a little more understable and get that forward push. Nice shot from Irina as well.
Let's see if Megan can match her card mates.
This has.
A little bit of nose up there.
Ooh, all right, nice. It stays in bounds, so
Yeah,
that'll
right.
be a little tricky footing, but yeah, nice shot. I don't think she'll probably be able to go over there from there. I would think we'll see one more straight pitch up from Megan before trying to cross.
Yeah, I would think that's just her play on this hole.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with playing this one for par. By far the hardest hole on the course for both divisions. Yeah, the thing about the second shot is
Are
you'd
these
love to keep it close to the water on the right-hand side because you end up having to cross. You can see the green from here, but it's tough to commit
right?
to that. This is looking really good.
Yeah, seems like
Oh, but there's the
Arena
skip.
corrected, but gets a huge. Yeah, that's just gonna make that upshot that much harder. But it's almost like you still got to go for it from where they are, right?
I don't know. It'll depend on what kind of lie. You can see these trees on the right here. They could be in some of their way. Yeah, Holly's just gonna opt to lay up again because this tree is just blocking her, path into the green.
Oh, okay. So they are going all the way around. They're not even trying to really deal with the water.
I think from where Holly just landed, she's going to have to still go over the water. And like, yeah, here Paige is going over the water here. This is probably somewhere around 300 feet into the green, maybe a little more, honestly.
That looks low. Oh, is that in?
Out of bounds. I think they have a painted line. So if you're not in that short grass, you're going to be out.
You just heard Paige say she's going to throw provisional. She doesn't know yet. That's definitely out.
Yeah, so here you can see this. So this upshot is also super hard because we're playing in a right to left wind. So if you throw that backhand hyzer, it's just going to just get yeeted over there to the left like Irina's did. And there's also OB long behind the basket as if this hole wasn't hard enough. So distance control is super important. You can't just blast your upshot past it. And it's just super hard to stick it on this green. That was a really nice shot from Megan. Because yeah, it's this green is very tight and very difficult in this wind.
Seems like a really fun hole though. Very beautiful, picturesque. And yeah, that's a really good up from Holly there. She'll have a par putt. Oh man.
It's that headwind just doing what it's been doing all day, making putting hard. We're going to see some big numbers. This did play hole 18, the hardest hole, 6.5 average, well over par for this FPO field.
I mean, par was basically a birdie today.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a par putt for Megan. We'll see if she decides to give it a run. Probably a tail right to left wind here. Man, it just fell out of the sky.
Yeah. I mean, she'd have to throw it 2 feet above the basket, and to just trust that is so tough.
Yeah. Big putt here for Paige. I think this is for bogey after she found the OB. Nicely done.
Very nice.
Limits the damage.
Yeah, and a good putting round by Paige in this wind.
Yeah, made some long ones. Got some birdies where she could. Big putt here for Holly. Should be for par and a share of the lead going into this third and final round.
Oh, yeah.
And she sticks it. Huge par.
That's clutch. I mean, you could just see that all around. She just laid up for most of the round. She's taken her pars, and it got her a share of the lead. So she knows what she's got to do to get it done.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for. 2 players still under par after this insanely windy round here at the ECU Purple course. As we take a look at the shot of the round, this killer circle 2 putt that danced on the rim but found the bottom of the basket from Paige Shue there. We got a tie at the top, folks. It's an absolute barn burner. Katie McErlian with a nice 5 over round. She's going to jump her way up to the lead card for this third and final round. Should be a very exciting finish. Thank you to the Norse gods and the Patreon family for supporting this coverage. We appreciate you as always. One more round. We go back to Meadowbrook for round 3 of this year's Down East Players Cup. Make sure to subscribe and join us over there.